For millions of travelers, Costa Rica begins with a familiar image. Arenal Volcano rises almost perfectly above dense tropical forest, hot springs flow beneath its slopes, and adventure lodges surround one of Central America's most recognizable landscapes. But travel beyond this famous region, and Costa Rica becomes considerably wilder. From above, the country looks almost impossibly green. Mountain ranges divide two oceans, enormous forests cover remote peninsulas, rivers twist through jungle, and clouds gather around volcanic peaks. In a nation small enough to cross in a day, the landscape can change completely within a matter of hours. South of Arenal, the mountains begin climbing toward Costa Rica's extraordinary Central Highlands. Roads wind through coffee country and forested valleys before reaching elevations where warm tropical air gives way to cooler mist and mountains frequently disappear behind moving clouds. This is the world of Costa Rica's cloud forests. Moisture drifting across the mountains condenses around dense vegetation, covering branches with mosses, bromeliads and ferns. Sunlight filters through several layers of green, while clouds can move through the forest itself. Monteverde is the most famous introduction to this environment, yet the cloud forest extends far beyond its best-known trails. From the air, ridges disappear beneath an almost continuous canopy, interrupted occasionally by farms, narrow roads and settlements clinging to the highlands. Farther south, the Talamanca Mountains rise into an even larger and more remote wilderness. Peaks and forested valleys stretch across southern Costa Rica toward Panama, creating some of the most dramatic high-altitude scenery anywhere in Central America. At these elevations, Costa Rica no longer resembles the tropical coastline many visitors expect. Temperatures fall, vegetation changes, and open highland landscapes appear above the forests. In places, mist sweeps across grasslands and rugged ridges that seem remarkably distant from the Caribbean. Among these mountains stands Cerro Chirripó, the highest point in Costa Rica. At 3,820 meters, its summit reveals a landscape of rocky valleys, high-altitude vegetation and distant mountain ranges, with extraordinary views possible when the clouds finally clear. But the real scale of Costa Rica's wilderness becomes apparent when the mountains begin descending toward the southwest. Rivers gather in forested valleys, roads become less frequent, and enormous areas of green stretch toward a peninsula reaching deep into the Pacific. This is the Osa Peninsula, one of the wildest corners of Costa Rica. Seen from above, rainforest appears to cover almost everything, flowing across hills and valleys until it meets long beaches where powerful Pacific waves break against an almost completely undeveloped shoreline. At the heart of this region lies Corcovado National Park. Protecting an extraordinary mixture of lowland rainforest, rivers, beaches, wetlands and coastal habitats, it represents the kind of tropical wilderness that has disappeared from much of Central America. The scale is easiest to understand from the air. Forest canopy extends toward distant mountains without cities interrupting the view, while rivers carve winding routes toward the Pacific. Occasionally, an isolated beach appears between jungle-covered headlands before disappearing again behind the next ridge. Along these shores, rainforest can reach almost to the water. Scarlet macaws cross above the canopy, monkeys move through the trees, and tracks in the sand can reveal animals that emerged from the forest during quieter hours. The deeper impression, however, comes from the landscape itself. Corcovado feels less like a conventional tourist destination and more like an enormous living system, where rivers, forest, coastline and wildlife remain connected across a remarkably intact environment. Beyond the national park, the Osa Peninsula continues through small communities and remote coastal settlements. Roads become rougher, distances feel longer, and even relatively short journeys can pass through stretches where rainforest remains the dominant presence. On the peninsula's eastern side, the calm waters of Golfo Dulce create another completely different environment. Forested mountains descend toward a deep tropical gulf, while mangroves, rivers and sheltered bays form intricate boundaries between land and sea. From above, those mangrove systems look like enormous green networks. Narrow channels divide the forest into twisting patterns, while muddy rivers carry nutrients toward the Gulf. These quiet coastal environments may lack the drama of a volcano, but they are among Costa Rica's most fascinating landscapes. Travel north along the Pacific and the coastline repeatedly transforms. Broad beaches give way to rocky coves, forest-covered headlands extend into the ocean, and small communities sit between steep green hills and the water. Somewhere beyond the famous surf towns and established resorts, quieter stretches still reveal what made this coast remarkable in the first place. Jungle-covered slopes descend toward empty beaches, waterfalls emerge after heavy rain, and sunsets turn the Pacific horizon into an enormous band of color. Yet Costa Rica has another coastline entirely. Beyond the mountains to the east, the Caribbean follows a different rhythm, wetter, flatter and shaped by vast river systems that flow through rainforest before reaching the sea. To reach some of its most remarkable places, roads eventually become less important than boats. Rivers replace highways, wetlands stretch toward the horizon, and dense forest closes around narrow waterways. Ahead lies a Costa Rica where the boundaries between rainforest, river and Caribbean Sea almost disappear. Along Costa Rica's northeastern Caribbean coast, water begins to dominate the landscape. Rivers, lagoons and narrow canals weave through immense tropical wetlands, while dense rainforest stretches across terrain where conventional roads become increasingly rare. At the center of this watery wilderness lies Tortuguero National Park. Seen from above, the region appears almost divided between two worlds, dark waterways winding through brilliant green forest on one side and a long, exposed Caribbean coastline on the other. Much of the experience here begins by boat. Narrow channels disappear beneath overhanging vegetation, reflections shimmer across still water, and the forest seems to close behind every bend. Without engines in the distance, the landscape can feel astonishingly isolated. Beyond the waterways, a seemingly endless beach faces the Caribbean. These shores are internationally important nesting grounds for sea turtles, particularly green turtles, which return seasonally to lay their eggs along this remote section of Costa Rica's coast. The contrast is extraordinary. Behind the beach lies dense rainforest and wetlands, ahead stretches the open Caribbean. Between them is a narrow strip of sand that has supported one of nature's oldest migrations for countless generations. Travel south and the Caribbean character begins changing again. Around Cahuita, tropical forest reaches toward brilliant coastal water, coral reef environments lie offshore, and palms lean across beaches that feel completely removed from Costa Rica's volcanic interior. Farther south, the landscape around Puerto Viejo and Manzanillo becomes even more lush. Small beaches appear between jungle-covered headlands, narrow roads pass beneath tropical vegetation, and the Talamanca Mountains rise inland behind the coast. This region carries a cultural identity as distinctive as its geography. Afro-Costa Rican, indigenous and broader Caribbean influences have shaped communities along the eastern coast, creating an atmosphere noticeably different from the Pacific side of the country. Turn inland from these beaches and the landscape quickly becomes mountainous. Rivers descend from the Talamanca Range through forests containing some of Costa Rica's most remote territory, including areas where indigenous communities have maintained deep connections with the land. The mountains also conceal extraordinary waterfalls. Tropical rivers plunge through forested canyons, sometimes creating brilliant blue pools where minerals and reflected light transform the water into colors that can appear almost unreal. One of the most famous examples is Rio Celeste in Arenal Volcano National Park. Its striking blue appearance results from an optical effect involving mineral particles in the water, creating one of Costa Rica's most distinctive natural landscapes beneath dense rainforest. But waterfalls appear throughout the country, often far beyond the most photographed locations. During the wetter months, temporary cascades emerge across mountain slopes, rivers swell through narrow valleys, and entire landscapes seem to become shaped by moving water. That abundance is connected to Costa Rica's extraordinary geography. Moisture arrives from both the Pacific and Caribbean, mountain ranges force air upward, and rainfall patterns can vary dramatically over surprisingly short distances. Cross those mountains toward the northwest and another transformation begins. The forests become increasingly seasonal, open grasslands appear between wooded hills, and the landscape of Guanacaste can look dramatically different from the permanently wet forests farther south. During the dry season, golden hills and dusty roads replace the intense green associated with much of Costa Rica. Yet when the rains return, the same countryside changes rapidly, covering valleys and hillsides in vegetation again. The coastline here is equally varied. Large bays curve around volcanic peninsulas, isolated beaches sit beneath forested hills, and rocky headlands divide stretches of Pacific water that can remain remarkably quiet beyond the busiest resort areas. Continue toward the Nicoya Peninsula and the roads begin crossing another landscape of mountains and ocean. Small towns occupy valleys behind the coast, rivers reach broad beaches, and ridgelines provide sweeping views across the Pacific. Some of Costa Rica's most memorable scenes occur where these environments collide. Dense forest ends abruptly at an empty beach, a river crosses the sand into the ocean, and mountains rise behind both beneath enormous tropical clouds. And throughout the journey, protected landscapes remain remarkably close to inhabited ones. Farms, villages and small towns exist beside forests that still support monkeys, sloths, macaws and countless other species, creating a constantly shifting boundary between human life and wilderness. Costa Rica's international reputation for conservation did not emerge accidentally. Protected areas now encompass roughly a quarter of its terrestrial territory, helping preserve ecosystems ranging from tropical dry forest and mangroves to cloud forest and high-altitude paramo. From the air, the result is a country that often appears larger and wilder than its map suggests. Forested mountains divide coastlines, volcanic ridges rise above agricultural valleys, and immense stretches of protected land create green corridors across the landscape. Arenal deserves its reputation. Its near-perfect volcanic silhouette remains one of Central America's great natural landmarks. But focusing only on that famous mountain reveals just one fragment of a country shaped by far more than volcanoes. The deeper Costa Rica lies beyond it. In the midst of the Talamanca Mountains, beneath the canopy of Corcovado, along the waterways of Tortuguero, across Guanacaste's seasonal forests and beside distant beaches where jungle still meets the sea. Perhaps that is Costa Rica's greatest surprise. Within a narrow strip of Central America between two oceans lies an extraordinary concentration of landscapes, each capable of feeling like a different country entirely. And as the final light falls across the Pacific, mountains become silhouettes behind an empty coastline and rainforest fades into the evening mist. Beyond Arenal is the Costa Rica that rarely fits onto a postcard, wilder, quieter and far more extraordinary than most travelers ever imagined.